Hey guys, Geo here. It's time for a new video and I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of the Elder Kiln quest. It will be by no means an in-depth guide, but it will give you a little walkthrough and insight into the quest and instructions on what to do. And it should help you guys, and if for any reason you can't do the quest or don't want to do it, but want to see what it's like, then I'm sure you'll enjoy this video. Anyway guys, so to start the quest you have to get to Karamja and enter the Tazar entrance. Once you've entered, the entrance, you find yourself in the Tazar city obviously. You want to make your way to the birthing pool, which is the quest start point. However, if at any point you get a little lost and you're not sure where to go, simply click on the minimap and everything is clearly annotated. Just like the main plaza, the kiln, the fight caves, they're all clearly annotated on the map, so it's nice and easy to know where you're going. Just click the world map at any point. But I mean, it's quite simple, but the layout has changed quite a lot, as you can see. So make your way to the birthing pool to get a quick start on the quest. Once you're at the birthing pool, you can start the quest by simply talking to Tazar Mej Jet, or however you say his name. Is quite clearly at the birthing pool, as you can see in the video right now. Talk to him to start the quest and he'll tell you about the egg. Once you've started the quest, continue talking to him and you'll go into a little cutscene style thing where you'll have to incubate the egg. Once you're in this screen, it's time to start incubating the egg, and it's really quite simple. You have fire spells and water spells. The higher level the fire spell, the more heat it gives the egg. The higher level the water spell, the more heat it takes away. As you can see on the left hand side of the screen, there are two arrows and a bar next to it. The bar, the more fire spells you throw at the egg, the higher the bar gets because the egg is getting hotter. You must keep that bar in between the two arrows. The orange bar must stay in between the two arrows. As long as the orange bar is in between the two arrows, the egg will continue to hatch. If it's not in between those arrows, the egg will die, and if it reaches 0%, as you can see at the top, the egg will die. If it reaches 100%, the egg will hatch happy days. So just keep it in between those two arrows and those two arrows will move. Be aware the guy on the right hand side of you will also cast fire spells at the egg. He will tell you when he's about to cast, as you can see on screen right now. So when he's about to cast, I wouldn't bother casting fire spells because it may get too hot. He will already increase the heat quite a bit. Just keep it in between the two arrows until the egg finally gets to 100%, using fire spells and water spells accordingly. If you fail, you can just simply click retry, it's easy enough. After the egg is hatched and you've continued the conversation with them, you want to head to the main plaza on the map. Remember, you can check your quest journal at any point. If it doesn't say go to the main plaza at this point, there's still a conversation you should be having at the birthing pool. Anyway, head over to the main plaza once you've hatched the egg and continue the conversation with those guys. At this point guys, you're going to want to gear up, get some food and get some prayer potions and some stat potions. It really doesn't matter what you use. I chose Bandos and took overloads and prayer potions and some food and sorrow brews, but that really is overkill and really not necessary. If you're lower level, super attack and super strength along with dragon or rune or Barrow's armor really should be fine, along with a good weapon like a whip or a rapier if you have access to one. Remember to utilize prayers from whichever attack style you're taking the most damage from. There are lots of opportunities to go to the bank during this quest and change your gear or stock up on items if they're not quite working for you. At this point you'll see that the quest journal tells you Gaal should return to the birthing pool. Gaal, if I'm pronouncing it right, are the two little Tazar tiny things at the main plaza, as you can see on the screen right now. One of them can't speak and one of them will not help you take the other one back. So you must talk to Tazar Mej Ak, who will go for a little conversation with you and then tell you Gaal will die in the fight pits. If you continue to talk to him, you can tell him that you will defend him in the fight pits and you'll go into a little version of the fight pits. It's quite simple once you're in here. All you must do is protect Gaal and stop any from killing him. If anybody attacks them, immediately kill them, and I eventually cleared all the players and monsters in there. They do look like players, but they are actually NPCs. Just kill all the monsters including the Tazar and the NPCs that look like players, and make sure you protect him at all costs. It's moderately easy, and once you finish that you'll go back to the main plaza. Okay guys, now it's time to head to the kiln. Remember to check your quest journal at any point just to make sure you're up to date with the video. If your quest journal isn't saying the same thing I'm saying, it's likely you've missed something or missed talking to somebody at the last place you were at. Anyway, if it's all gone well and you've completed the fight pits part, it's time to head to the kiln. Now at this point you may want to restock up on some items, some potions, some food or some prayer potions, etc. I wore Bandos and took overloads and sorrow brews and some prayer potions and some rock tails, and you can't take a familiar at this point. Just wear your best armor, and I would generally recommend going for melee defense as I spent most of the time playing mage while defending from melee and range. Before you head into the kiln, make sure you have a rune or dragon pickaxe, as you'll not be able to complete this part of the quest without having a rune or dragon pickaxe. At this point of getting the pickaxe, you may also want to get some range. It depends if you're confident of killing a 360. Now a 360 is the same monster that's in the fight caves and will deal up to 400 and around 400 damage by melee or mage. It's quite easy to kill these guys just praying mage and attacking them with range or magic. So if you're not comfortable killing one of those with melee, clicking on it and clicking back. I also advise you bring some range gear and some range ammunition and a bow in your inventory. Alternatively, you can do the entire part of this cave with mage or range. There are different parts to the kiln. There is lots of caves, consecutive caves. Once you've killed all the monsters in one cave, you have reached a checkpoint, and if you leave and come back, those monsters will remain dead, so that's fine. If you kill all the monsters in one part, you can leave and get more resources or change your armor if that's what you'd like to do. So basically, continue killing the monsters, maintain praying range if you're not wearing mage protective armor and you're not being dealt a lot of damage through melee or range. Now you should progress through the kiln until you see a skeleton. The skeleton will be on the left of an entrance to the next part of the cave. You can simply investigate and search the skeleton and you'll receive a little book which is essential for later on in the quest. Once you've gone through the entrance where the skeleton is to the next part of the cave, it is also essential that you pick up the toggle. There will be a little cutscene and then you must pick up the toggle that's on the floor, as you will also need that later on in the quest. Now this is a slightly more difficult part of the quest, but still quite easy. As soon as you picked up the toggle, when you run north, you want to pray mage straight away, else you will get hit for a lot of damage. There will be two 360s which are very similar to the ones in the fight caves, well, the same really, and lots of other monsters, so make sure you pray mage and take all these monsters out as fast as you can. I killed the other monsters before killing the 360s for the most part, and then I killed the 360s with melee. However, if you brought range or mage, it's probably much easier to kill them with that, and it is absolutely vital you pray mage in this room. After you pick up the toggle, pray mage and run north and kill all the monsters. Then you can progress north. At this point you should just continue doing the kiln, following the path round, as there's really only one path, or there is only one path, so there's one way to go, until you reach the ancient doors and their little puzzle. And these are the ancient doors, and really the only puzzle part of the quest. There is an ancient scale on each side of the door, and you must put a certain amount of toggle on each scale. It differs for every player and each player must work it out, but it's really easy to work out. You put an appropriate amount of toggle on each scale and then the door opens. I'll quickly explain how to work out how much to put on. When you look at each of the scales, you'll see a series of symbols and words, Z and XO. It's quite simple. The symbols represent numbers and XO represents add and ZI represents subtract. So XO is addition and ZI is subtraction. It's really quite easy, and you just must work out which of the little symbols are which numbers. Now in order to do this, all you have to do is right click on your book that you acquired from the skeleton and open the notes. You'll see Tazar numbers, which will show you all the different numbers and how much each one of them is, and then explain that XO is add and ZI is subtract. Something quickly to explain to help people with this. A lot of people are getting confused about it. As you can see, the one that looks like a plus sign, plus plus, is 13. And a lot of people are getting confused, so what's 16, what's 17? So plus, and then this one would be 16. Plus, and then this one would be 17. Plus, and then this one would be 18, etc, etc. As you can see, plus plus is actually 13 rather than 11, which most people thought it was. You just continue on, so 13, 14, 15, etc. So once you've worked out the sum, for example, it could be 10 plus 5 minus 4. Once you've worked out the answer, put that amount of toggle on that scale, and then work out the other scale and put the appropriate amount of toggle on there. The door will open. Happy days. Now for this part of the quest, you'll be asked if you'd like to bank to prepare. You can do that if you want. If you feel you need more supplies, go back to bank, as you'll be fighting through several waves of quite strong monsters, and then finalise with a level 300 monster, who's not really that difficult. Most of the monsters seem to be range and mage. My preference for this part of the quest was praying a lot of range and mage when I saw the mystical ones attacking me. The last boss, who is a level 300, I prayed melee against him and he was moderately easy. Once you've defeated all the monsters and finished the final wave of this part of the quest, simply go to the middle and talk to Hawk. He'll talk to you for a while and then give you a little cutscene. After that, it will then tell you to leave the kiln. You simply have to walk back through the kiln the way you came. There are monsters in there now, but I didn't fight any of them. I simply prayed magic and ran through, and it took me a couple of minutes to get through back to Tazar City. So, like I said, once you've killed all the monsters at this part of the quest, go to the middle of the room, talk to Hawk, go through the cutscenes and the conversations, and then just walk back through the fight kiln back into Tazar City. Once you've left the kiln and you've returned back to the Tazar City, you simply go back to the main central plaza and then talk to Tazar Mej Ak, and he'll commence a little cutscene. And happy days, once the cutscene is finished and more of the storyline is revealed, you have completed the quest. Hope this was useful for you guys. If you have any questions or these little errors in this video, let me know in the comment section of this video, or if you have any advice yourself or other people doing this quest. I myself found it quite easy, especially for a master's quest. It really didn't take long, and as you can see, this guide really didn't need to go into much to show you guys how to do it quickly with a walkthrough. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys.